Good morning class. In the previous video we have discussed about the second chapter, that is the atmosphere, and we have discussed about the composition of the atmosphere and the layers of the atmosphere. In that we have discussed about the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and the exosphere. Now we are going to start the next heading, that is heating of the atmosphere. So how our atmosphere is getting heated, or you can say that how our earth is getting heat. So we already know that there is a sun, and because of sun we are getting heat and light, and this radiation, sun radiates or send out the energy in all the directions. So our earth receive only a small fraction of this energy, because we know that our earth is very far away from the sun. Because of that, the energy which we are receiving is known as incoming solar radiation. You have to learn the definition. The solar energy received by the earth is called incoming solar radiation or insolation. Now I'll tell you from the figure 2.3 how rising warm air being replaced by cool air at the heated land surface. So this is a diagram which from this you will get to know how our earth is getting heated. So first of all, the cool air is coming downward, and then it is becoming here lighter. So because of that, as we know, when the earth near the ground is heated, it expands and it become lighter and it rises. So when it is rising, it is getting cool. So then when it is going from this side, it is rising the warm air. Now again the cool air is coming, and this cyclic movement of air current near the earth surface here, this you can say these air current transfer heat upward, and such transfer of heat by current is called convection. So I hope you understood from this diagram. Now what are the greenhouse effects? As we have studied previously what are the terrestrial radiation, and again I will tell you what are the terrestrial radiation. It is the heat that the earth's surface radiates, okay, after being heated by insolation. So whenever it is reflecting towards the earth, there are carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere and in the clouds. So the heat cannot escape into space, and usually it get trapped onto the earth, and because of that there is a greenhouse effect. And if this process will not happen, or you can say the trapping will not happen, the earth could have been cold at night. And when there is no insulation to replace the heat lost through terrestrial radiation, so it's better that you can say that trapping of heat is necessary. But greenhouse effect is essential for our survival, but too much of it can be harmful. So if it will goes on increasing, it can cause global warming also, and we will discuss about global warming in the next heading. First of all, threats to the atmosphere. So first of all, what are the air pollution? We can say that any harmful change in the composition of air, any harmful change in the composition of air is known as air pollution. There are two types of air pollution, or you can say two main agents of air pollution, one natural and one man-made. I'll tell you, or you can say two I'll tell you. In cities and in, you can say industrial areas are there, factories are there, automobiles are there. So because of that we are producing a lot of air pollution. Then if we talk about the natural agent, then there are volcanoes, and because of volcanoes because volcanoes release huge amount of dust, ash and poisonous gases into the atmosphere. Because of that air gets polluted. Okay, next is global warming. What are the global warming? As we know that there is a gradual increase in the greenhouse effect, because there is a carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And what usually green plants do, green plants release, you can say, take the carbon dioxide and give us the oxygen. Nowadays what people are doing, they are cutting down the trees, and when they are cutting down the trees for wood and for furniture, so people, you can say, suffering from the global warming. And because of that, there is a gradual increase in the amount of greenhouse effect. So if it will be continued, so global warming may produce several ill effects. What will be the several ill effect? I'll tell you, I'll explain you that also. We know that on pole side there are ice, and when the global warming will increase, so the ice will melt into water. Okay, so the level will rise, and because of that level, if the level will rise, then the islands or the oceans or the coastal areas will go underwater, because people will die because water will be more. And next is, due to global warming, climate and rainfall is also changing, because they are coming on an unexpected time, and because of that, droughts, or you can say several severe storms, floods are coming. Next is that because of the general rise in the temperature, seasons are also changing. Seasonal behavior we usually see in some plants and animals, because some plants are blooming earlier in the year, birds are laying eggs out of the season. Because of that, chicks are not getting food, so that's why they are migrating, they are just changing their place also. And we usually see that we have seen birds are extincting nowadays. Okay, next is changes in climate and rainfall pattern. Changes in climate and rainfall patterns, droughts, floods, etc., they are likely to reducing the crops. And if there will be no crop, then in future, then there will be a shortage of food for the human population. Next is ozone depletion. First of all, that we have discussed in the previous video, that the layers of the atmosphere. In that, we have discussed about the ozonosphere is, you can say, is also ozone protect us by absorbing the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. So we have discussed this one previously, and we know that the thickness of this layer is not same, because in all over the world, there is a or you can say, there is a different level. Because of that, in some areas it is very thin. So because of a thin layer, a thin patches used to come, and that patches is known as ozone hole. But in some areas, we can say, in North Pole, it is lesser, because the North Polar region has lesser land, and the air over it does not get as cold as it gets over the South Pole. So there you can see fewer ice clouds are formed. Next is protecting the atmosphere. How can we protect our atmosphere? First of all, we have to plant trees. As much as we can plant trees, we have to plant trees. By this way, we can control it, and we can reduce the global warming. Next is, we can save electricity, because nowadays, you can say, automatic fans are coming, automatic, you can say, lcds light bulbs are coming, which are saving our energy, so it's better to use them at home. Okay, next is, we can reuse and recycle things to save the energy. You may have heard the name of the company Zara, Levi's. What they are doing, they are just recycling the clothes, so it's better to purchase those clothes, so that you can recycle them, reuse them. Okay, next is, we have to avoid packaged food or the bottled water, because they are taking a lot of energy to make them. Next is, we can burn lesser fuel by using the car less, because nowadays everyone is having car facilities. So what they are doing, if they want to go from, you can say, if they have to go from Nagina to Dhampur also, what they are doing, they are just going by car. It's better to go by public transport. Because of that, you will save fuel. Okay, next is, nowadays, you can say, air conditioners are coming, which are taking up very little energy. Before 1995, if your nana nani or dada dadi is having a refrigerator, old refrigerator or air conditioner, or you can ask to them that usually take a lot of energy. So if they are having, you can tell them to purchase a new one, because nowadays which is coming, they are taking a very less energy. So I hope the chapter is clear to you all. Now I'll give you question answers. So first question is given, what is the atmosphere? So the blanket of air that surround the earth is known as the atmosphere. Then what are the chief constituents of the atmosphere? Nitrogen makes up about 78% and oxygen about 21% of the total volume of the atmosphere. Then third is, name the five main layers of the atmosphere in order of distance from the ground. So the layers are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. You have to write this one in your copy like the same I have given you. Then in which part of the atmosphere does the ozonosphere lie? So you have to write in stratosphere. Then what is insolation? So the answer is, the solar energy received by the earth is called insolation. Next is, what is air pollution? So the answer is, any harmful change in the composition of air is called air pollution. Next is, name one natural and one man-made agent of air pollution. So the answer is volcanoes and industries. Next is, two sources of CFCs are refrigerator and air conditioner. The ninth question is, why is the depletion of the atmospheric ozone bad for us? So the answer is, because these rays can cause sunburn, skin cancer and can cause damage to our eyes. So you have to write this answer in your copy.